Hello, my name is Ralph Bozella, and I'm from the American Legion, the Department of Colorado. And welcome to the American Legion High School Oratorical Scholarship Program. Thank you for serving as a judge in this very important program today. I will serve as your briefer, which will enable you to do a better job of scoring the contestants you are about to see. In his book, A Purpose-Driven Life, Rick Warren stated, "Nothing energizes like clear purpose," and that's a good place for us to start today. The contest was developed primarily to instill a better knowledge and appreciation of the Constitution of the United States in high school students. Other objectives included the development of leadership qualities, the ability to think and speak clearly, the preparation for acceptance of duties, responsibilities, rights, and privileges of the American citizenship. And I believe that's what you will see today from these contestants. Each contestant will appear 2 times today. The first time it's for their prepared oration, and the second time is for the assigned topic. They will be introduced by number only, and all students will speak on the same assigned topic to be drawn just before the last contestant gives their prepared oration. The multi-appearances permits an opportunity for you to reevaluate and reconsider first impressions and compare each contestant. This is why we give you pencils. Pencils with erasers are provided so adjustments can be made as speeches unfold and the proper scoring can be made. In the prepared oration, each contestant will speak for 8 to 10 minutes. On the assigned topic, each contestant will speak from 3 to 5 minutes. The assigned topic is randomly chosen for this contest. A penalty point of 1 point is given any contestant who speaks over or under the prescribed time for each minute or fraction thereof. The penalty point is determined by timers with stopwatches and announced by your moderator. Judges will be told if there are any penalty and the number of points to be deducted. The prepared oration, the first speech that you will hear from each contestant, must be on some aspect of the Constitution of the United States, with emphasis on duties and obligations of a citizen to our government. We're very keen on this point. It's about duties and obligations. It's one thing to know a subject, it's another thing to apply it to life, and that's what we're looking for here. The lack of emphasis in the prepared oration and the assigned topic on the duties and obligations of citizens to our government must result in the judge's downgrade of a contestant. You will have a prerogative of 0 to 10 points to penalize a contestant for a failure to address the duties and obligations of a citizen to our government. A penalty of 1 to 10 points for failure to speak on the Constitution may be given by a judge if the judge feels the contestant did not speak on the Constitution. Remember, this is a constitutional speech contest, and we want the subject area to be on the Constitution. And that is your prerogative as a judge. If you believe the student may have a great speech, but did he or she absolutely address their topic on the Constitution? That is for you to determine. Props are not permitted. Is saluting the flag a prop? You will notice contestants will come onto the stage, and there's a flag on every stage. Some contestants will stop, and they may put their hand over their heart to show respect for our flag. That is not using the flag as a prop. That's showing respect to our flag. However, if that student were to walk over and touch the flag or perhaps even wrap him or herself in it, that certainly is using the flag as a prop. You will notice there are 2 scratch tally sheets for each contestant. In the prepared oration, the first speech, the scratch tally sheet contains 2 parts. Part A is content. There are 4 sections for that. And Part B are the speaking skills, and there are 3 sections of that. So we are judging 2 things. We're judging content and speaking skills. In the prepared oration, it's a total of 70 out of 100 possible points. Here's an example of the scratch tally sheet for judges on the prepared oration. In the content area, we've weighted the scores: 12 points for originality, 12 points for skill in data and examples, 12 points for logic, and 16 points for knowledge. Obviously, we're weighting this toward the knowledge on the Constitution. And in the speaking skills section, you will notice we've weighted 6 points for the voice, 6 points for style and language, and 6 points for body action. The total content area is 52 points in the prepared oration, and the total speaking skills is 18 points, and that's a total of 70 out of 100 possible total contest points. Let's note the scoring system. In the prepared oration, in the content area, the 4 items: originality and knowledge, skill in data examples, logic, and knowledge of the subject. We will briefly go into each one of these content areas, and that again is 52 points in the content area in the prepared oration. Content area number 1, 12 points in the prepared oration, and it's 4 points in the assigned topic. This is letting us know that that content area is the same in the prepared oration and the assigned topic, and that is originality. How original are their presentations? Is it fresh? Is it direct? And do they have an application of knowledge on their topic area? Content area number 2, 12 points in the prepared oration and 4 points on the assigned topic portion. Skill in selecting examples. So you are going to hear examples today used in their presentations. Examples that should apply to life, examples that might be from their experience, examples from things that they've read. You're going to hear descriptions. You're going to hear analogies. Probably every student you hear today will give you an analogy, more than one, to make their point on the Constitution. And you will most certainly hear specific data. They have researched this topic, and they want to prove to you that they know this topic. And so they're going to use these areas to prove that point. Content area number 3. It's 12 points in the prepared oration and 4 points in the assigned topic. And this is logic, their correctness of inference. Have they built a logical argument? Essentially, they're building a case. They're presenting to you an argument on their topic. They are inferring from the information that they've gathered, and they want you to infer and read between the lines. Is their logic correct? And the 4th content area, 16 points in the prepared oration and 6 points in the assigned topic, is their comprehensiveness of knowledge. Does this contestant know the subject matter? This is the most weighted portion of the contest. We want to believe they really know this subject material as they are presenting it on the Constitution. Here is a recommendation for you. The judge should rate the first speaker at 9 or 10 points max out of 12 in the content area. Why? Well, because as it is the first speaker, this will give you an opportunity to match other speakers up against this speaker. Now, is this suggesting that we should perhaps downgrade this speaker because he or she is the first speaker? Of course not. Nobody would want that to happen. This just gives you some leeway to move. And don't forget, we've given you pencils with erasers, and we expect you to use that. Because after you see the first speaker, and then you see the second speaker, the third, and so on, you will have the opportunity to go back to that first speaker and think, after comparing him or her to what else I've seen, I may want to make that 9 become an 11 or that 10 become a 12, now that you have a comparative value. A note on quotations. All quotations are to be indicated as such, and if the quotation is more than 10 words, the author's name must be given. Does that suggest you should sit there and count, is that 10 words or not? Well, probably not. You're not going to have enough time. That does suggest, though, that you have a pretty good idea in your mind that was a fairly long quote. Did the contestant give the author's name? If not, then you would downgrade from that 12. That would give you a reason to say, well, maybe I'll give that student an 8 because the quotation gave no author. Question, is it acceptable to utilize or incorporate short phrases of a foreign language into the prepared oration and or the assigned topic in order to develop the argument, establish a point, etc.? Absolutely yes. They can incorporate short phrases of a foreign language. The oration and the assigned topic must be given in the English language. However, it is appropriate to make a point to use a foreign phrase. Let's look back at the scoring system again, and let's talk about Part B, the speaking skills. Just as we went over all the content areas now, let's talk about the speaking skills area. The first area being voice for 6 points, the second area being style and language for 6 points, and the third, their body action for 6 points, for a total of 18 points speaking skills on the prepared oration phase of the contest. Like we did with the content areas, let's review each of these speaking skills. Speaking skill 1, 6 points in the prepared oration, 4 points on the assigned topic. Voice and diction. This is where you have the opportunity to evaluate their pronunciation, their enunciation, their articulation, their delivery, their projection. We've made every attempt for our facilities to be acoustically sound, and you ought to be able to hear these students and clearly understand what they have to say. Speaking skill number 2, 6 points on the prepared oration and 4 points on the assigned topic. Their speaking style, the language use, the word arrangement, the transition, the word selection. How are they putting their language together for you to hear what they have to say? Speaking skill number 3, 6 points on the prepared oration and 4 points on the assigned topic. Their body language, body action, their poise, their eye contact, posture, and gestures. I believe you will see on the prepared oration that they are more confident. On the prepared oration, these contestants have researched the subject, they have built their case, and they presented it to you. On the assigned topic, this topic was given to them. Now, they know what the topics were. There were 4 topics prior to this contest, and they had a chance to prepare. But I want you to notice the body language difference on the prepared oration to the assigned topic. And my guess is you will see better poise, better eye contact on the prepared oration. Now, does that mean we downgrade them for that on the assigned topic? No. What that means is those who are able to keep that same level of body action at that phase of the contest, then that indicates to me that they have a better knowledge. The body action will show that to us. Let's talk about the assigned topic. The purpose of the assigned topic discourse is to test the speaker's knowledge of the subject and also the extent of his or her research and the ability to discuss the topic as related to the basic principles of government under our Constitution. Just as you had a scratch tally sheet for the prepared oration, you will also have a scratch tally sheet for the assigned topic. Just as in the prepared oration, there are content areas, 4 categories. There are also speaking skills, 3 categories. And the total points add up to 30 points for the assigned topic. Another suggestion for you as a judge. It is suggested that you use the first 2 or 3 minutes of the contest to rate the contestants' speaking skills. Now, this allows the remainder of the time for you to concentrate on the content, both in a prepared oration and the assigned topic. Once you get a good feel for how the contestant is speaking, their speaking style will not change as they go on through the rest of their presentation. Let's talk a bit about the scoring method. In the first column in the content area, it has the 4 content areas that we've discussed. And then in the second column under score, in parentheses, are the maximum point values, so that you know you should not go over that point value. On this example, you see the maximum point value as 4 for originality and knowledge, and underneath it, handwritten, is the judge's evaluation of 2. In the skill and data examples, 4 was the max. This judge rated a 3, and so on down the page. And then in the third column, there's a place for you to put your remarks. And this, again, is on the scratch tally sheet. This gives you the opportunity to be able to write things so that your thinking is shown to you on a piece of paper as you go back to evaluate them in the final scoring. Another suggestion for you. In order to help you remember the individual speakers, on the scratch tally sheet, you might want to note something about that speaker, something about the color of clothing, the gender. For example, a girl with a green top, a boy with a blue striped tie. And whenever you go into your judge's room at the end of the contest and you look at your scratch tally sheet and you're transferring scores over, that'll help you remember that particular contestant. A scoring system review. How many scratch tally sheets are there for each contestant? Well, there are two. You have one for the prepared oration and one for the assigned topic. How many points can be given for the prepared oration? In the content area, there are 52 points. And in the speaking skills area, there are 18 points for a total of 70 points out of 100 for the prepared oration. On the assigned topic, the total point value are 18 for content areas and 12 for speaking skills, for a total of 30 points on the assigned topic, so that the total score for this contest cannot go over 100 points for each contestant. Here's a good question. What happens if the contestant fails to directly address the assigned topic? This has happened. The students are given the assigned topic 5 minutes before they appear the second time. They are taken to a private room, given that topic. They don't have any research materials with them. They're given a pencil and a blank sheet of paper, and they can write notes from their head before they appear for the second time. It has happened where a student has walked in and given the wrong assigned topic. May have made a great speech, but not the correct topic. Well, I want to refer you back to your penalty point of 1 to 10 points for failure to speak on the Constitution. Now, yes, they spoke on the Constitution, but did they speak on the correct topic that was selected for their contest? If the answer is no, I don't see how you could give them a good score for doing that. So this gives you the opportunity to downgrade them 1 to 10 points. Another option you would have would be to downgrade them in all 4 content areas. Obviously, their knowledge on the topic wasn't right, so they should not receive a high score for that. It's very rare that this happens, but if it does happen, we want you as the judge to penalize that student for speaking on the wrong assigned topic. After the last speaker, the judges will return here, and you are going to transfer data from your scratch tally sheets to the official score sheet. And then you will tabulate your data for each contestant, and then our tabulators will review your mathematics, arithmetic, and we will tabulate the results of the contest. Now, this scratch tally sheet is really your note-taking opportunity throughout the contest. You can write all over that paper, you score it as we talked about, there's places for you to make remarks. However, it's not mandatory. Some judges prefer just to take the score sheet and write the scores in. If that is your preference, that is fine, but we recommend that you use the scratch tally sheets. The scoring examples from the scratch tally sheet, again with the top score in parentheses and the judge's score written under that, and you would see how you would have a total score that you have written. You have an opportunity then to transfer any penalty points at the bottom of that scoring sheet. Now, if there are time penalties, you should have been told that in your contest, and then you need to note that on your time card. If you gave penalty points for failure to speak on the Constitution, your penalty points would then be noted on your score sheet, and at that time, everything will be added up so that you get your raw score. In this example, then this is on the actual score sheet, contestant 1 had 88 points, and contestant 2 had 81 points. Now comes the next part of the scoring, which is very critical. You have to give your record of choice. In other words, who did you see as taking first place, second place, third place, and so on? Your first place should have the highest raw score. Your second place should have the next highest raw score. If that's not the case, we will return your scorecard to you and ask you to fix that so that your highest score reflects your first record of choice on down the line. Then we're going to ask you to be sure you sign your scorecard. This slide shows you an example of your scorecard. That's the exact scorecard that you are holding. When you're finished with your scorecard and you turn it in to our tabulators, please do not leave the room until the moderator advises that your scorecard has been reviewed. The decision of the judge will be your own without the consideration of others. We don't expect you to be in a group and you're going to decide together who wins this contest. Each of you will judge individually, yet together your scores are tabulated and together you will pick a winner, but you will do so individually. Another very important point, we're going to ask you to please refrain from discussing your judging with anyone outside of this room. All of your information is information of the American Legion. We do not want you to discuss this with parents or coaches or students. The contestants have been briefed that if they desire their scores, they will be provided them when the contest is over. They will not be given your scratch tally sheets. These are property of the American Legion. They will not be given your names or your score sheets. Once again, this is property of the American Legion. Thank you for serving as a judge today. As you can see, the contestants who participated are the kind of students that will become leaders in our communities, in our states, and in our nation. And as they assume their leadership role in the future, we want them to have, as a foundation, the principles of the Constitution of the United States of America. And for us in the American Legion, this is our payoff. And we believe that you share that value with us, and this will be your payoff today as well. Thank you for volunteering.